I'm Debbie Korbel, and I'm a sculptor. I use a lot of unusual materials in my work, things that I find, rubber, wood, wire, metal, plastic, toys, all kinds of things. And I make pretty unconventional sculpture, some of which is a bit provocative and maybe offensive to some, but I basically have like two bodies of work. I have some that's a little more PG-ish. It's just maybe mildly provocative, and then I have some that's definitely adult themed. And the work that I'll be showing in the exhibit is the adult themed. It's Bad Plastic. Bad Plastics came about because I wanted to make a birthday present for my friend, and people reacted very well to it and encouraged that behavior. So I continued to make the sculptures. I have a lot of fun making them, and I get very excited to share them with people. One thing that's kind of interesting about art and artists is a lot of times you don't hear people talking about how fun it is to be an artist and how fun it is to make the art. Somehow it's not taken seriously or valued, if it's not somebody trying to get in touch with their otherness or something. So it's kind of my art is generally pretty accessible conceptually. The Bad Plastic series in particular is kind of like little comedy vignettes, I guess, like one-line jokes, I guess is how I would describe it. There are a lot of exaggeration, hyperbole, kind of commentary, but coming in sideways on things, not directly, like on social conventions and intimacy, sex, what's tolerated, aesthetically, what's tolerated to be, looked at, what's tolerated to be thought about, what's tolerated to be talked about. So all those things kind of, they come into play with it. And I guess another thing, people often ask me, like, where I get my ideas. And I've thought about this a lot, so I think part of it is just a response to particular stimuli, right? The same way anything strikes anybody funny, right? It's like you see something and for whatever reason it strikes you funny, or you get an idea to do something. So it's kind of like that. I mean, I've always had, I guess, a little, off-kilter thoughts, to some degree. And I think that they just it's kind of like the La Brea tar pits. They just sort of bubble up, and then all of a sudden, there it is. I don't like to be bossed around. I don't think most people like to be bossed around. They like to do what they want to do, and I don't feel like I should be in a position to tell anybody else what to do. And that includes, how to dress or who to love or who to have sex with or anything else. In general, that's how I kind of view things. And just people should just lighten up and mind their own business. Becoming an artist was as much a surprise to me as anyone else. I didn't have a grand master plan for my life. I just kind of followed my nose. And I think, the seed of being artistic was always in there, and but it wasn't necessarily fostered. I didn't really, contextualize it that way. I didn't have a word for it. I wasn't raised in a household where that was fostered. I came from pretty modest beginnings, and so I ended up, really coming to art as an adult. I took did some things on my own, but I took adult art classes and kind of explored the various things that I could do, and I really landed on sculpture, and that's kind of how my brain works. I thought this is the right thing for me. I'm much more of a 3D conceptualizer than 2D. I'm not good at drawing, but sculpting works for me. I'm showing at several galleries. There's Covet Gallery in Oceanside, which is a great gallery if you're ever out that way. There's Shockbox in Hermosa Beach, another wonderful gallery. There's Hawthorne Gallery up in Big Sur. There's Church Boutique in West Hollywood, and of course the Studio Door in San Diego. So I've got two websites. One, as I mentioned, I have basically two bodies of work, is debbiekorbel.com. And the other website is for Bad Plastic and will also be for my Double Take series, which will be bad-plastic.com. so they can see the adult themed work there. And I'm on Instagram, just at Debbie Korbel.